I want to do an entire video on this topic. This is going to be the most important thing, okay? If you have time, highly recommend reading it, but this is a whole topic on its own. Yellen shift on vast Treasury cash pile poses problem for Powell. Treasury is slashing its bulging bank account at the Fed. Move pushes down money market rates, may make them go negative. That's the direction, and I have a chart to show you. Take a look at this right here. Long way down. Treasury's cash balance is expected to fall by hundreds of billions of dollars. This is what we are seeing right now. March 2020. This starts to go up like crazy, multiplying many multiples of where it was previously. And this is what we're dealing with now. The expectation is that this is going to go down all the way, and that's going to create an issue. There's so much more. Read that article if you want to get into it. It is very informative. The link will be in the description if you want to check it out. Couple quick points I want to make right here. Online shipping costs expected to increase further. Delivery costs have been rising across the country and are expected to continue. With competition like Amazon's Prime Speedy Shipping, mid-sized retailers are at risk because many don't have the capacity to actually keep up with the increased demand. This is the problem. There's no doubt about it. All these companies here who don't have these incredible deals, they are going to lose out. Amazon is shipping so much today that, number one, if you go through Amazon's system and you use their connection in with UPS, you get a rate that you cannot get anywhere else. But ultimately, the long-term plan for Amazon is to sidestep all of the other companies, not deliver using them, and simply use all of their own fleet. This is going to, of course, be something big. It's going to give them a lot of leverage in this field. Why Walmart CEO says Americans urgently need another stimulus check. I think that, of course, this may actually be a fact. However, when you get a stimulus check, what is that going to do? It's going to help out Walmart's bottom line. So we have to take it with a grain of salt, of course. I do think that people will be getting another stimulus check. It's simply a matter of time. Where the money goes, we'll see. And of course, I will try to document that for you. You didn't think I would mention Yellen's name just once in this video, did you? Check it out. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen makes push for a big stimulus, sees bigger risk, not doing enough. Have you ever heard them say that we're concerned that we're going to do too much at this point? Of course not. No politician says that, no central banker either. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that a large stimulus package is still necessary to get the economy back to full strength, despite momentum suggesting that growth is off to a faster start than anticipated in 2021. If you go by what they're saying and then you go by their actions, it's completely disconnected. It's crazy. I can't believe people are still swindled by this. Anyway, we think it's very important to have a big package that addresses the pain that this has caused 15 million Americans behind on the rent, 24 million adults, and 12 million children who don't have enough to eat, small businesses failing. And so that's funny. You hear those little bits, but at the same time, they're telling you the unemployment rate's at 6.7% or 6.3, whatever the heck it is now. They're telling you that the economy is doing well. And then you give me those facts. Really strange. I think the price of doing too little is much higher than the price of doing something big. We think that the benefits will far outweigh the costs in the longer run, and they'll do it. And then maybe the CPI will probably touch down at about 2%. And you look at actual inflation, you probably have to interject a zero at the end of that. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing. $1.9 trillion, is that what they're going to do? Or is it going to be just one of many that they will need to consistently do in order to keep the system alive? This is an interesting one here. You're looking at Amazon to acquire AMC. This might be the case. We'll see. This is out of the French version of Forbes. It's a translated article, but regardless, this would be something that I think could be a possibility, and they discuss why and so on. But it just gives you some insight as to what's happening with this particular company and how they want things change. A lot is going to change where we were, let's say, just a few years ago. And if we look a few years into the future, I think the way that we access products and content and services is really going to change. Keep your eye on this one. Really quickly, just want to show you what's going on with lumber. I told you don't buy 7 shares of Amazon. You should be buying 7 2x4s because look at it at $1,000, a record high. I literally said that in previous videos. So if anybody was watching, the potential was certainly there. And now with housing just going crazy, the amount that it takes to build a home is increasing. And one of the factors here is lumber. All right, last thing here, and then I'll show you the chart associated. 1 of 10 in the US may have to switch occupations. 1 out of every 10 workers, about 17 million all told, will likely be forced to leave their jobs and take up new occupations by 2030. This is something that absolutely could be the case. It's just a matter of time as we see it. This right here gives you the breakdown. You could see change in labor demand in the US from 2018 to 2030. Office support being the one that certainly looks like it's being hit. If there's not a need for people in those offices, certainly those jobs will take a hit. Beyond that, we've got customer service and sales and production and food services and so on. As we go more to robotics and automation, there's certainly going to be some a lot of job losses, but that means that people have to get into other things that are needed, that are in demand. And I think people that are, maybe going through school right now, or they're even, much younger, they need to be looking at not what's good right now, but look at what's going to be good 20 years from now and so on, because those are the industries that will certainly be doing well. And maybe, they're a lot of what people think it's sort of good at this time may not be the case. So we need to really address that, and I will in future videos.